How's it going? So today I wanted to just quickly show off a hidden bubble elevator that I've been working on. Uh, and this is just a first draft. I need to tidy up some of the redstone. There's like a few little bugs here and there, but by and large seems to work fairly well. So it's hidden here in the ground. When you're up top, press this button. Floor drops away. Magma block pulls you down. And if we look up top here, this will close up shortly. That time is configurable. And then when you're on the bottom, you can press a button, we'll swap out the magma block for soul sand. So you can get pushed back up, and again, it will close up. There's a few things that were a little bit challenging with this. One was I needed to replace the source water blocks there when the pistons and the top block retract. And so that's being done using 2 dispensers with water buckets in them. This is just a matter of getting the delay right. So I started first with this top part here of retracting the blocks. That's not too much of a problem. First you unpower this block right here, which is used for the extension out afterwards when you're putting it back. So you first unpower that. Then you unpower the two side blocks. So then that pulls everything back. And then finally, once those have been retracted, then you can activate the dispensers here. Now, when this goes back, you need, when you turn on the system again, so that is putting everything back into place, you then need to remove the water first. And so that's what this second path here is. So this happens first this time, rather than happening towards the very end. Observer ticks both of those dispensers based on the update of this redstone signal here. That takes care of bubble column and the water and the floor kind of retracting there. The other part of this was bubble columns don't launch you with enough velocity to be able to get out all the way if there's a block missing. So if this block isn't here, then, or if when there's no water here, then you don't have enough velocity to get out all the time. So we need to get a set of stairs in here so that you've got a way to get out afterwards. So this one was a little bit challenging to get into place here. I used Ilmango's block swapper, and I took his universal 1 wide tileable compact block swapper, and it turns out that universal one can actually work at 90-degree angles. So there's one part of it here, which is pulling back the stairs, which are located right there. And then this other part is the other aspect of it. These pistons here are really just there to trigger the observers here. So I can leave a link to Ilmango's video, and he does a way better job explaining that than I could do at this point. So that takes care of the top component and the ability to get out. Then we need to be able to turn this on either from the top or the bottom. And so that's what these circuits are. So this is kind of a configurable timer. I'm going to look for a better design here. This is a little bit bigger than I would like, but essentially you use an observer to tick a piston, which pushes this down, activates this. And then when this finishes, so this is the locked hopper here, when this turns off, again, ticks the observer, pulls the redstone back. The bottom gets a little bit more complicated because we need to swap out this magma block for soul sand so that we can be pushed up. So in order to do that, we've got another circuit down here. So this pulse extender is used to trigger that piston, which triggers that observer. Again, another Ilmango block swapper there at the bottom, but it needs to tick twice. Once at the very beginning in order to swap that block to the soul sand, and it needs to tick another time to put it back. Meanwhile, this top one here operates a little bit differently. So there's actually there's actually 2 sets of ticks going into this. Sorry, 1 set of ticks going into this one, and 2 sets of ticks going into this. So 4 ticks total here, 2 ticks total there. So So again, this could probably be cleaned up. But it works. I'm very excited. Sometimes I get enough velocity here, other times I don't. So I just put the stairs in just in case. Otherwise, you're going to get crushed by everything and then suffer a horrible, painful death. Then the timings for these can just be adjusted based on the hopper amounts here. You put in 12 at this point. It is the one drawback with this design is that it takes all of the items out, which is fine, but it also has to transfer them all the way back in order to kind of reset the system. So if you press the button again, before this is fully reset, I suspect you would run into problems. I haven't tested it because I don't want to break this and I haven't done a backup yet. Yeah, that seems to work fairly well. I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit more compact, but it's not outrageous at this point. It's pretty scuffed redstone, I'm sure, but it does in fact work. Very exciting when it does. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed.